This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself.
Today we're going to cover how to repair a Whirlpool dryer that is not spinning. When you turn it on, you can hear the motor running. It does heat up, but it's not spinning. So I'll give you an idea what that's like. So press start. You can hear the motor. If you open the door, you want to double check it. When you open it, you should still see it turn a little bit for about half a second. But if we look, no turn. And if you spin it by hand, it'll spin really easily. That means that the belt is no longer connected, and that could be due to the belt being broken, which is most common, or maybe the belt has slipped off of the little wheel on the motor that turns it and the idler wheel that keeps the tension. So one thing we'll do is unplug it, and this should just take you a couple of minutes to repair. You could probably order a belt prior to doing it just to make sure you have one. Could be it just slipped off, but if it broke, it's nice to have it. And the way you can order the belt is you can go to underneath the door, there's a little sticker. It'll have a model number. This is the model number LGR 4634EQ0. And you look on Google for that model number and then the word belt, and there'll be a couple stores that sell the belt. It's a pretty easy procedure. First thing you do is lift this up, and you're going to take out the two Phillips head screws here. Sometimes it's hard to get to these screws unless you remove the filter first, so you may have to remove the filter. This, by the way, is a really good dryer. We've had this one for about 25 years, and made by Whirlpool, sometimes called the Series 80. They're really tough. They keep going and going, but every now and then you got to repair a belt. So the next thing you do is you lift up on the top panel, and it's just hinged at the back. Those screws help to release it. Usually on most of these you have to use like a standard head screwdriver or a paint scraper to push in on a tab here and here. You push in, it releases. Sometimes you can just lift up and they'll come up. Yeah, there we go. But here's that little thing that you would push the screwdriver into or the paint scraper to release it. Once you release it, you take this, which is a 7/16 socket, and you undo a couple of screws here. That's about all it takes to remove the front panel. You do want to take off this connection here, which is for the door switch, and this one came loose, but sometimes you have to put something in there like a small blade of flat blade screwdriver to pry that out. Let's come apart. One more screw to take out here. So you can see the belt's actually not broken in this case, it just slipped off. I have seen where people for whatever reason they'll spin the drum by hand, but they go the wrong way. And sometimes in this model that'll make the belt slip off, but it's easy to fix. So now that that's off, what we're going to do is lift up on this front panel, and there's some catches at the bottom right and left corner that are going to release, and we can take the front panel off. So we're going to lift up, front panel comes right off. I'll show you those little catches. So on the front panel you have a hole there and a hole there, and these are like little hooks that go in those holes. Now we can reach in and put the belt back on. If your belt broke, what you would do at this point is take the new belt, and you would just show you how you would do it. It's pretty easy. If this was a new belt, we can check the how this belt's doing. When you look at these belts, if you turn them over where the rubber side faces you, the rib side, and you kind of flex it, if you see a lot of cracks, that would mean that rubber is no longer supple. This one seems to be okay. So if this was a new belt, you would just put that over the tumbler, kind of get it back where you can see where the old mark was, where the belt used to be. And then you get in underneath it. I usually just lay down so I can get low enough. And you got this thing here. It's called the idler wheel. And this is the motor pulley here. And you want to get the this thing positioned so it's kind of pointing to the left. So I do that by pushing it down into the slot here, like that. And what I'm going to do now is take the belt, put it on top of this thing called the idler pulley, and I'll make a little loop. I'm going to push it through this area here toward the motor pulley. And then with my left hand, I'll push the motor pulley. I'm in the belt idler wheel toward my other hand. I'll get this to go up over the motor pulley. And then we just want to kind of get these all straightened out. I'll line everything up. So before I reassemble, I always try to slowly turn. I'm going to lift up on this tumbler though, because usually the tumbler is being held up by the front panel, so I have to kind of compensate for that. I'm going to turn this and see if it's going to stay on the motor pulley. And go the other way. Turning it right now counterclockwise to my left. I can see the belt's tracking kind of on the old mark where it used to be. Turning that. So you basically want to do a full revolution. And you want to make sure the belt's not twisted. Looks good. The rollers look good. So I've done a full revolution counterclockwise. And it's spinning really good. Didn't fall off. So now I'm going to put the front panel back on. This is the only part that's a little tricky because I got to get this felt piece here called the front bearing in underneath here, lift up a little bit, and then sit this down so these holes go into these hooks. So get this thing close by first. I'll lift this up so I can see. Normally, this cabinet's in the way, but normally you can just lift this thing all the way up so you don't have to deal with it. Alright, so I'm going to get that felt thing in there. Front bearings all set. I'm going to lift it a little bit. See if I can set it down into that hole. That one's in. This side's good. Check the other side. That one's in good. So now I can add those bolts back in that hold in the front panel. If you drop one at this point, it's okay. You can just kind of go in and pick up the screw again, no problem. Take your time. Stick your head in there so you can kind of line up the holes better. So you can see what you're doing. There we go. Alright, that one's in by hand. I'll tighten it up. There we go. Second screw. Same thing, we'll just kind of look in there, eyeball it. There we go. That's it. So this will only take you a few minutes and you'll be done. I'm going to reconnect these. That's for the door switch so it knows the door's shut. And now we can have this come down and catch here. Got it. And then we're going to add those two Phillips head screws back there. We're done. some dryers, not this one, but some dryers, if the belt breaks, it'll cut power to everything. It'll cut power, it won't spin. You'll just see like a timer will keep going, you hear clicking and stuff, but it won't heat, it won't spin, because there's a switch called a belt switch, which cuts power to the heater and to the motor drive. On this model though, actually everything will still work, except it won't spin because it's no longer connected, but you can hear the motor going. So we'll plug it back in, make sure it's working, press start. You can hear it turning. Yep, just washing some of those masks during the pandemic. Okay, all set. Hopefully that has helped you and you'll get your dryer spinning good again. Thanks for watching.
Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.